What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Like always, like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. Today I'm going to do a double review because I'm super behind on making videos and I read the books. I'm finishing books faster than I can make the reviews, so I'm going to finish. I did Heir to the Empire a video or two ago. Today I'm going to do Dark Force Rising and The Last Command in one video. What I will say right away for the trilogy as a whole is it should have been the movies we got in the 90s. I've said it in the last video. I had somebody tell me I was some loser for Disney propaganda or something, but I don't understand what they were talking about because I was like, I'm pretty sure I said I'm going to read all the Legends books and maybe canon in the future. But right now, I've read this trilogy and I just finished Shadows of Mindor. I'll do a review on that later. But this trilogy right here was awesome. Timothy Zahn is an awesome author. We have Dark Force Rising and The Last Command. And they were... I mean, I don't know. I like them both equally. I've heard people say Dark Force Rising is the weakest of the three, but I felt like they got better and better as they went from Heir to the Empire on. The trilogy definitely, I feel like it's the characters kind of round off in Dark Force Rising, especially the new characters. You're kind of getting a more sense of who they are, like Mara Jade and Talon Card, as they become, more involved with the story. And then you're following Leia as she's trying to be a better Jedi and she's pregnant with her twins. So some pretty cool stuff. And then Thrawn's a very unique bad guy, and he pretty much has to deal with this dark Jedi. I still don't know why they call it a dark Jedi. I feel like that's what they were supposed to call the Sith. But Luke has to take on Master Sabath is what he's called, him and Mara Jade. And Master Sabath wants to take over Luke and Mara Jade and make them like his apprentices so he could teach them how to be what he thinks a Jedi should be, basically a Sith. And so, and then at the same time, there's these Nogiri that are like super awesome fighting beings. They're super awesome fighters and they're hunting them down. That's mainly a lot of what's going on in Dark Force Rising. They're hunting down Luke and Leia, because for Master Sabath and Thrawn to get. And what ends up happening is Leia befriends one of them and on the Wookiee planet, and they find out that she's, Darth Vader's daughter. So they make friends with, this is in Dark Force Rising, so that they consider her like a master to them because it was Vader that, pseudo helped their people. He didn't really help them because they're slaves to the Empire. So the Nogiri become friends, and they're pretty cool creatures. And sorry for the dog. They're pretty cool creatures, and so you get to go with them throughout the story. And I'm a little bit off track because the dog's barking. I apologize. So I thought that was great at Dark Force Rising, and then where it ends, you're kind of seeing, okay, Master Sabath, he's kind of insane. He's nuts. And you're starting to see that Thrawn is really nothing like Vader. You see it in the first one, but it really comes through in Dark Force Rising. So then you get to The Last Command. The Last Command is great. The battle sequences in here. And then, like, I know I was saying Mara Jade was kind of annoying to me in the last video, but as I got towards the end of this one, her character really developed, and I really started to, I was like, okay, I really like what she's becoming. So, and then you get you deal with a lot of the smuggler side of it with Talon Card and all his people and the politics. That's a big part of this book. He becomes more of a main character in this one. So you follow him, and he's trying to get people on his side because they find out that Thrawn is building a gigantic clone army, because in this one they're looking for the dreadnoughts, and they get them. Thrawn gets them and the Republic doesn't. So he has like 200 something gigantic ships that he's trying to fill with all these clones, because he's figured out how to clone, make the clones faster. Instead of it taking a year or however it took like 20 days to produce a clone. So that was starting to worry not only the Republic but other people in the galaxy. And so Talon Card and the smugglers, he tries, bringing them in to make a pact to help the Republic pretty much try to stop these clones, because Talon Card knew where the dreadnoughts were because he was the one that found them. And then now he thinks he knows where the planet is. Mara Jade's leading the Republic to the planet where the clones are. At the same time, Talon Card is doing something else in The Last Command. there's two battles that are going to take place, and Thrawn is so sure of himself that he's gonna win the final battle. But what he didn't realize was the Republic was kind of playing a trick on him, and all that while that was happening, they were taking down the clones and fighting Master Sabath. Luke and Mara were, and Luke has to face a clone of himself, which was pretty cool, pretty unique how it tied into, because he reminisces a lot on his training on Dagobah with Yoda. So when he fights his clone, if you remember what happens there, you know, he thinks he's fighting Vader, but it's actually himself. So when he's fighting his clone, you get a lot of that flashback and what he's thinking about there. And Mara Jade's still dealing with her conflict because she was a servant of the Emperor and she thought she was like his only main servant. So she's having a lot of conflict because the whole time she's starting to realize Luke Skywalker's a great guy. He's not, you know, he's a different kind of Jedi. But the whole time she still thinks she wants to kill him, but she's starting to realize her mind's been manipulated. So it really comes together for her character in The Last Command. And I'm real interested to see how her character plays out during the rest of the expanded universe as I get into more of the books. Like I said, I'm kind of going back with Shadows of Mindor, and then I'm going to read the X-Wing. So I kind of went back because I started with the Thrawn trilogy, but I'm interested in the books that come after the Thrawn trilogy. How her character develops. I did see some spoilers, like I think she becomes Luke's wife or something, which I kind of assumed, so not a big deal. The book ends really well. I think the last few pages really just bring the trilogy together, and Timothy Zahn does a great job finishing it up like that. And I mean, honestly, I'm just addicted to the Star Wars universe now, and I can't wait to keep reading the books. Shadows of Mindor was okay. Like I said, I have a review for that. If I had to pick a favorite, I think I would say Last Command, because the only reason the first two wouldn't be out of this trilogy, I think Last Command would be my favorite, because the one pitfall of the first two was Mara Jade. She was bothering me, but then as her character develops in this one and comes through towards the end of the book, I really felt, I was like, okay, this one is great. And the battle sequences in this one, I mean, they're good in all three. I mean, Timothy Zahn does a great job. You can see the X-Wings fighting the TIE fighters and the big dreadnoughts and stuff, and you can see it in your head. And then how the Nogiri end up helping, like Chewbacca befriends the main Nogiri. I can't remember his name. It's a crazy name, like Kawagalaban or something like that. I thought that was cool. He was teaching Chewbacca martial arts, so I thought it was a pretty interesting. The trilogy was excellent, and I can't wait to get some more of Timothy Zahn's Star Wars books. And I have a couple of his books that he's written outside of the media tie-ins with Star Wars. So super interested to see how it goes. If I had to rate, I would say I think Heir of the Empire and Dark Force Rising are a tie for me. And then just edging them out a little bit is The Last Command. I really loved The Last Command. It was such a good book. So all three of them together, like, there were such great books, and it just got me so amped up for Star Wars again. And I don't know. That's it. That's the video today, guys. Sorry for the interruption. Sorry I kind of lost track when the dog started barking. I apologize for that. So I'm actually, also before I end the video, you can see I'm kind of working on I'm building a tiny little corner library. Just a little bitty in my house. I'm just going to build this little, and I'm just going to pile it full of books. I can't wait. So I'm slowly working on that. I'm going to get rid of this little bookshelf. I'm going to get some other bookshelves to put from these cabinets down and just fill it up in here. So that's the video. I loved the trilogy, the Thrawn trilogy. I'll probably read it again someday as a reread just because it was that good. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Later.